Here we go, guys. You guys may have been wondering why I was not live streaming this morning. I was not feeling good. Um, and then I didn't make a market recap last night either. But we keep moving forward. Let's go ahead and backtest today's price actions so that way I can hopefully make a market recap. And yeah, let's keep moving forward. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. So, I'm gonna open up Discord so I can start journaling. This morning I was not doing good. I should not have chicken a trade. That's such a mistake. But you know what? Now I know for the future I gotta be more disciplined about that. I gotta be more disciplined to realize if I'm not feeling good, I should not be trading. Simple as that. Because we're trying to do something that's incredibly hard. So if I don't feel good, I should not be doing anything, right? Because that is just we're trying to do something so hard, we need every ounce of our focus, and it's like if I don't have that in the morning and I'm trying to take a trade, that's not good. So anyway, let's go ahead and I guess open up my folder here. Unfortunately, I did not backtest a lot from Wednesday, but we'll just skip ahead to Thursday here, which is today. 8-21-25 Thursday. And yeah, let's go ahead and see what we had happen today. So dropping down to the 1 minute chart. What I've highlighted here is this is a 4 hour for value gap, and to note as well this volume balance, right? So 4 hour volume balance. Let's drop down lower time frame. Yeah, pretty cool. Look at that. Right? Look at how the market reacts off of this. It takes liquidity into the 4 hour gap and then reacts off of this. So the most obvious trade, right, is 4 hour for value gap. I'm wondering if there's 15-minute change in state. Or maybe, you know what actually makes a lot of sense? 15-minute for value gap here. Oh, this was good, right? 15-minute for value gap. And then on the 1 minute, we have 1 minute change state. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Right? You guys see what I'm looking at? 15-minute for value gap. We retest the 1 minute change state delivery right at 11 o'clock. And then we dump. So, and the reason this is a good, we have a really nice liquidity sweep here, right? Sweep of this high. Man, like every single time, you always wonder, like, what if smart money concepts just like stop working? But it's like you hop on the charts, look around a bit, you're like, oh yeah, they're still working. Like, genuinely, guys, I don't know. Like, it's just like every time you have any doubts, just backtest, and you're like, oh wow, yeah, the market moves perfectly respecting these concepts, doesn't it? Oh wow, perfectly hit that change state delivery on the 1 minute. Literally perfectly, right? And it's like every time I have doubts, I'm like, oh man, what if just trading is just impossible? It's like I go on the charts, I look at something like this, and I'm like, oh yeah, obviously the market's moving off of this 15-minute gap, liquidity sweep, 1 minute change state delivery, and then if we measure this out here, 1 hit perfectly, 2 hit perfectly, 3 hit perfectly, 4 hit perfectly, right? the market moves off of these. It's crazy. It's so crazy. We just gotta not give up. We just gotta not give up. That it's crazy because that doesn't hit till way later in the day. So let's go over, because I think this would be probably the trade of the day, right? 15-minute gap, 1 minute change of state of delivery, and then liquidity sweep. So assuming this is trade of the day, right? Let's show how we could take this. Once again, I'm just never giving up, man. Notice how you pair your trade with an inducement, right? Pretty cool how you can do that. So, okay. So how could we take this? Well, we enter right at that change state delivery, and then let's see here. Yeah, honestly, I would probably just say this is a scenario where I just go all off at the second standard deviation personally. This is how I do this. I'd go all off at 2R, maybe just no partials, because this is just such an obvious accumulation range. We should go down there, and then yeah, this is probably how I would take this. All off at 2R, just 1 TP. Once again, I think it's valuable to record, you know, how you would take a trade. And I think this was the macro as well. I want to get better at recording exactly how I'm going to take a trade, because the more we can write down exactly how we're going to take a trade, the better we can execute our trade, right? So I would enter right at the change state delivery, inducing this high. I'd probably put stop at the end of the body there. And then, or you could even do, I'd probably just do it like that. And then that'd be 2 to 1 right there. Probably all off right there, 1 TP. You could take it as an inducement, and then you get a little better RR. You could even take it with an inducement and then a little tighter stop. Honestly, yeah, I kind of like it like this, where we take it as an inducement of this high. So flow state inducement, and then, we don't really have stop all the way at the high in this scenario, because if it's going to run here, it should just run. And then I just do all off at that second standard deviation. So I kind of want to post this as trade of the day. So we should probably do that. And this was also during the macro too. I'm realizing how important macros really are. So I'm calling this flow state inducement, right? And we just enter as an inducement. So I'm going to also mark this out as manipulation here. I'm gonna mark this entire range out as accumulation. Right, this is so nice. Dang. Okay. I'm gonna screenshot this. So this is 11 a.m. Flow state, inducement, 15 minute, 1 minute. Okay, let's go ahead and post that on Twitter. Okay, trade of the day. Let's switch to the screen so you guys can see. All right. Trade of the day. Thursday. 8/11/25. Flow state, retest, entry on inducement, 15 minute FEG to 1 minute CISD, all off at 2R. Entry yeah, genuinely beautiful. Let's go ahead and post this. Yeah. Oh, did I not save it? Okay. There it is. Date 8/11/25. Time. This was at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. So, I mean, you also could have taken this as a 5-minute gap. The thing about these trades is so much of the time, oh man, I don't even know what I was gonna say. There's so much opportunity, and it's like I just have to be in the right frame of mind. That's the main thing. Like, oh my gosh. Just what? Like, what? What is the RR on this? It's just a beautiful trade. 30-second change state right there. I mean, there's just so much opportunity, and it's like, why can't I catch this live? Like, what? Do I just, suck? I don't know. But I like entering on the close there. There. And then targeting these low resistance lows. You also sweep this high. Just a matter of time. We'll get there. Okay. Right down there. So accumulation, manipulation. Yeah, we just gotta keep going. I think I might buy another Top Step eval. I'm also considering trying out other firms as well. So let me know if you guys know of any other good firms that'll actually pay. And obviously you could target further, but I would just target here since this is, the liquidity pool. You could even have your stop loss a little bit more aggressive. Actually, yeah, I kind of like it like this. I know it's a little aggressive, but theoretically, like with this much momentum, we should go straight there. And you could even go break even here. Now just go all off at. You could do TP1. You could go all off there. Might just target all off there, to be honest. It's a conviction. Nah, I'd probably take partials. You could do like TP1 here. Man, the key is I gotta be in the right frame of mind. But like, there's so much opportunity every single day. Every single day. We just gotta actually catch it. Alright, let's go ahead and screenshot. Oh, you guys can't even see my screen. Oh my. This is the trade I just marked out. That's so clean. $10.30. Oh, it's a once again another macro, right? We're in between 20 and 40. I think we gotta pay attention to these more, right? These macros. They're gonna tell you when to trade. So Hydra macro. This one was also nice. I can't lie. Honestly, there's probably a trade every macro, if I'm being honest. 10:30. Flow state, close, 5 minute, 30-second. Man, can't wait to take this live. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be so cool. Then this one, same thing, right? We end up having, hey, what up, Gary? You're the first one here. Dude, I was not feeling good this morning. I was gonna do a live trading stream, but I didn't end up doing it. And man, I've just every single day, like, the problem is, Gary, like, I'm working like 24/7, right? When I get off of work, like, during the day, I come home and then I'm working on my own stuff, and it's like, it is really, really exhausting. And unfortunately today it bled into my trading because I got on the charts feeling absolutely like crap. And I learned a lesson, right? When I feel like, I didn't do a live trading session today. What happened is I got on the live and I was feeling like crap. I'm like, why am I even live right now? I shouldn't be live. So I ended the live, but then I still ended up taking a trade, and it was a loss. And I knew that I felt like crap, and I was like, yeah, this is a lesson. Like, I cannot trade if I feel like crap, because it's going to bleed into my trading. And so I really need to be more disciplined about that going into the future. And it's something I'm going to keep getting better at. But it's definitely, upset because there's no reason to take a loss this morning. I was just feeling like crap and whatever, right? It is what it is. So let's keep looking at the market, looking at more stuff. It's crazy how much opportunity there is every single day. Like, it's genuinely crazy. Like, I could take this 1 minute breaker and I could find a 5-second flow state off of it. Like, genuinely, people underestimate these markets all the time. Like, literally, there's trades everywhere. Because why would I like this 1 minute breaker? Well, it's a good breaker because we sweep this high. Yeah, exactly. Hey, one day at a time. But, like, genuinely, like, I guess, like, there's just so much opportunity every single day. I feel like I just need to lock in, and I just need to really, I think another thing I need to do a lot more is I need to take so many more demo trades. Like, not like forced demo trades. Obviously, every trade I take on demo should be a legit trade. But the more trades I practice on demo, the more I'm actually going to be able to build the skill of taking that on my live accounts and my funded accounts. And so I need to really work on that. It's not easy for me to do, but I need to really work on that. And so, like I said, right, you just take a 1 minute key level. You find a 5-second change state delivery off of that. Personally, I wouldn't do anything until this one, because this one, it's very obvious at this point we're gonna go run liquidity, right? You don't have to take that first change state delivery. You can wait for it to be really obvious, and at this point, it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go run liquidity. So this is the one I would take. And I mean, if you kind of think about it, flow state is really not even flow state. It's just common sense. Like, if I have a key level, we're just waiting for proof that it's going to hold via change instead of delivery, and then we're entering, right? It's not rocket science. It's literally just key level, change state delivery. Key level, if key levels exist in the market, then let's just wait for the market to react off of it and wait for it to be obvious to run liquidity, and then we enter, right? Flow state is really just common sense. I don't know why other people, like, there's so many people who just don't trade it. I don't know why. I don't know. It's also a 1 minute 2022 for value gap. It's just a matter of time. We'll get there. So yeah, I would enter on the close here because it's just super obvious that we're gonna go run liquidity, and then stop loss at that high, and then measure out projections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just I'd target the fourth right here, because that's the end of that LRLR. That's 4.7 to 1. All it's gonna take is just one of these trades, which I really don't think are that hard. I'm not gonna lie. I just think you got to be paying attention and locked in. But I don't think these are that hard. And one of these trades would make up for a week worth of losses. A whole week's worth of losses are made up in one. Like if I lost every single day for a week straight, this one trade would make up for all of those losses. I mean, guys, trading's not rocket science, but it does, but it's not easy either. We gotta lock in. It's like every single time you get doubts, just start back testing and you're like, oh wow, yeah, the markets are literally perfect. So once again, how is this accumulation, manipulation, distribution? That's important to note, right? Well, this entire range is accumulation. Oh, I wonder if there's SMT. There probably was. Anyway, it's not that important if we have it or not. Looking at YM. Okay, they all make a higher high. Anyway. $11.03. I mean, I took a trade very similar to this on demo. That was 5R last week. Not last week, on Wednesday. And it was awesome. It was really cool. So 11:03 flow state close. 1 minute, 5 second. Let's look at the first event for value gap today. Man, it's like crazy how there's so much opportunity every single day. It's like, what are we doing? We gotta lock in. Literally one good trading day away from just like, your life changing. And it's like, not even one, like just like, you know what I mean? Like, few good trading days away. Here's the first presented for value gap. Look at that. Inversed and then rejected. Right here. The markets are perfect. It's crazy. So, once again, why did it fail to the upside? Because the drawn liquidity was to go run these lows. So, drawn liquidity was this low. First was in for value gap. I mean, at this point, it's also a CRT, right? I mean, I don't know what time frame of CRT it is, but it's clearly a CRT. Like, if I zoom out, it's like the 3-minute or the 5-minute or something, or maybe the 4-minute. Anyway. Inversed and rejected. First strike off of it. Possibility. It's frustrating because I wish I just wasn't so tired all the time, because I, definitely don't get enough sleep. And it's like, anyway. So there's multiple ways to take this. Look at that. Look at that volume balance. Look at that volume balance right there. Oh my. What? Okay. These markets are perfect. I just wish I didn't suck at trading so much. Where's the other assets? Let's go on the 5-second. Let's see if there's low time frame SMT. Man, it's just like, there's so much opportunity every day. Anyway, you could take this one. I wouldn't take this one though. I don't think it's obvious until we get this. When we get this, well, bang! Like, what just happened with my voice? I'm so annoyed. Why did I do that? When we get this whipsaw, right, where we wick up and then close lower, it's like at that point I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go run liquidity now. Right, at this point, this is very convincing to me. So I don't even need to put stop at the high when we get this change state delivery on the 5-second. I just target this low. Now, obviously, it's a 5-second chart. It's not always the easiest to take a trade like this, but it's just like, it's possible. It's so possible, right? Just gotta figure out, why I suck so much sometimes, because this should not be that hard. Man, I already know someone just, YOLO'd this volume balance within the first design for value gap and was like, all right, let's see if we hit 100 R. 100 R. Crazy. So first strike, 9:45. First strike, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Okay, I have to use the bathroom. Like, guys, does this not just get you excited? Like, for me, like, every single time, like, I'm, like, feeling down or feeling sad or hopeless, I literally just need to start backtesting because it's like there's so much opportunity every single day. Every single day. And it's like, are we just blind? Are we just dumb? Like, we just gotta keep locking in. I mean, it's just a matter of time before the flow state just kind of unlocks within us, and we're gonna go beast mode on these markets, guys. I can feel it, like it's coming. We just gotta keep locking in. I mean, obviously the market. I mean, this can't it's so perfect, guys. Like, look at that precision, volume balance, right up to it, in the first percent for value gap, bang. All right, let's keep going. You know. Obviously, I'm kind of tired, but doesn't mean I stopped. That means that we just keep back testing. We just keep going. So, I don't want to back test right now. Like, I'm kind of feeling tired, but we gotta lock in. I'm gonna keep going. I do think trade of the day though was definitely that 15-minute gap. I mean, it's just so obviously placed above those highs that 1 minute change state delivery off of it just made so much sense. Let's see what SMTs we had throughout the day. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, I'm continuing. I'm just looking around on the 5-minute chart here. I'm looking for SMTs. So yeah, that 5 minute, and then the same thing here, right? There was a 5-minute gap up here that was in premium, and then we just had to wait for that 30-second change state delivery, and then same thing, right? I mean, you could even go like this. You could even go, there's probably a trade, like, because obviously we don't know what's going to happen, right? But we take this leg from discount to premium, and we see this fair value gap right here. It's in discount. And actually, I want to go in a lower time frame, because, you know, the lower time frame of a model that we can frame, it's actually better like that. So if we go to the 1 minute, right, we could have the gap framed like this. Like a 1 minute gap here. We rebalance the equilibrium, right? 1 minute gap. Now we drop to the 5 second. And it's like, there we go, right? Very obvious. Like, where is it obvious that we're going to go higher? For me, not here, not here, not here. I'm not going to lie. It's tough because maybe, actually, you know what? You could maybe try on this retest, right? But, yeah, I'd say like this one. This one's probably the most obvious one. 5 second change in state. I like always just try and find where was the most obvious change in state. Where was the most obvious? And I try and use that one, right? And then, well, if you said, I actually don't want to enter right away, I want to wait for price action to develop because we have an external gap here. If you said, let's just wait and see and wait for price action to develop, that would have been totally fine. And that's a lot of time what's best, right? You can see if you wait for this model to develop more and then you're like, okay, we have an old low resting below the change in state. I'm going to put a limit order there to induce that low. And you just put a limit order there. Take this as a flow state inducement. Bang. Right up to TP. We probably hit fourth standard deviation. So I would consider taking this as a flow state inducement where instead of taking it, you could just take it right on the retest to change state delivery, but you'd have to hold throughout all this, right? You could also take it as an inducement of this low, but this one's super nice. So we induce this low here, enter as a flow state inducement. Once again, these aren't going to work all the time, but it's like, they're usually pretty good RR, and when they do work, so let's just say we targeted the fourth. I don't know if it's going to hit the fourth. I'm closing my eyes. I have no idea if it's going to hit the fourth. Let's just say we target all off at the fourth. Actually, the end of the LRLR. We're going to target all off at the end of that LRLR. Because I don't know what's going to happen, right? I literally haven't even looked. So yeah, I would just target the third. I would definitely, in this situation, I would definitely target the third because it's the end of the LRLR here. And well, what do you know? We go right to that third. That would be 4.7R. And not trade like inverse or value gaps or 2022 models. Like literally just only flow state close, flow state retest, flow state inducement. It's a thing I'm considering because genuinely I feel like this is my model. You know, I mean, obviously I don't own flow state, but like it just makes sense, you know? It just makes sense. What happened to the camera here? I mean, hello? I mean, it's literally just market maker models. That is what flow state is. You recommend waiting for a retest? Yeah, I'm saying I'd probably wait a little bit. I'm not necessarily saying I would take this. This is just like me kind of just, you know, looking through the charts and observing. Because I think this would be kind of hard to catch, but I still just like to map stuff out that I could take. And then, you know, if I did take this, I'm being realistic. I'd probably do it on demo because it's not the most obvious in the world. It is definitely a higher difficulty trade, but then again, if I can just practice it on demo, if I can just practice this on demo, then eventually I'm going to be able to hit these for real. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very obvious that this was the draw on liquidity. It was just perfect trend line right up in the standard deviation land right up above, perfectly above it. Linear Razor and Aesthetics. My mom's company. Obviously, guys, you don't have to go all off at the second standard deviation or the third standard deviation. You could take partials all through here. I'm just kind of showing how like I knew that this was probably going to be the draw on liquidity, and you can see that's exactly where we went. So yeah, flow state inducement here. 10-4. Oh, look at that! Right at the start of the macro too. That is called time and price right there. You gotta wait for time. Gotta wait for time, guys. Macros are actually way more important than I thought. Like, we need to check the time when we enter a trade. Like, are we going into a macro? Are we in a macro? Like, these are things we got to ask ourselves when we're about to enter our trades, because yeah, it's just going to be stupidly precise. I mean, look at how right as the macro starts, we hit that inducement. That's not a coincidence, guys. It's like literally it's perfect. That is perfect. 10.50, right as the macro starts, we hit our optimal inducement entry. Like, genuinely, that is crazy. That is so crazy. $10.50 flow state inducement. 1 minute, 5 second. It's just insane. Oh, and then also we hit the Jake trades at OTE. You know what I'm saying? This is my sniper model that I made, where you basically measure out the manipulation within the market maker model, within the whatever you want to call it, flow state model. You measure out the manipulation leg you're using for the change state of delivery, right? And then you can see that we'll backtest OTE a lot of time. Actually, here, no, you have to measure it out like this. So we do hit it, but only barely. But a lot of time this is really, really sensitive, and you can see it was here. Okay, anyway, let's move on. There's just so much opportunity. Like, let's go to earlier in the morning when I was actually watching the charts, right after market open. Let's see what we had. I already looked at this, right? We rejected this. This move here, this is very, very tricky. This is very, very tricky. This move got a lot of people, a lot of good traders actually, like Hydra. I think, yeah, just a lot of people got tripped up by this move. We should figure out why. Like, what actually happened behind the scenes? Why did this move fail? This move tripped up a lot of traders. Why? Because I personally believe the market is, I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I personally believe the market is always right. And the market's going to do whatever it does very intentionally. It's very intentional about specifically why it does. So if something's going to fail, there's usually actually a reason behind it. It's not just like, oh, today it just failed. No, there's some reason why it failed. And the market, if you look into the market's going to show you it. And the reason I think that is because smart money, right? The people that have the most influence in the markets have the most money. How did they get to that point? By having the best edge in the market. So common sense will tell you, okay, how did they get there, right? They traded the most efficiently. So they're the more they trade in sync with smart money concepts, the more capital they control, the more influence they have in markets, and it's a positive feedback loop, right? So yes, I really do believe the market is always right. So let's figure out what happened here. So one thing to note is it's actually the first presented for value gap. This is very, very interesting, right? I think this is the first presented for value gap, right? Yeah, right here. The first presented for value gap. Now, actually, we don't actually go tap it, huh? I was thinking this might be it, but it's this. Well, I will say this. There's this external gap here, right? So, if the market's truly ready to run liquidity, it probably needed to inverse this. And you can see we do not inverse this. So, interesting, right? Yeah, this was tricky. Notice how we fail to actually inverse this 1 minute gap. Interesting and insightful to why possibly part of why this move failed. Like, I know that it's a 1 minute gap. It probably doesn't mean a ton. Like, typically you're still going to run liquidity even if you fail to inverse this, but it's definitely worth noting, right? The 1 minute external gap did not get closed above. Now, we need to keep doing digging because I don't think that's enough to really even make an argument, but 1 minute external gap doesn't inverse. Okay, let's keep going. So, 2 minute. Another thing I'll say is, like, if you mark out this range, when we get this close, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks like we're ready to go on liquidity, but I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's honestly entering within premium. We're entering within premium above. If I measure this out, we're entering above this consolidation in premium, right? Entry within premium. Is this really like an amazing entry when you think about it like that? Smart money, they're looking at all these things. Even though we get a 1 minute change day delivery here, this is an entry within premium. I mean, if I draw out this entire range here, we're still in premium. We are literally still in premium. Just barely in discount there, but I mean, this is the most obvious range, and we're definitely in premium of that. So just note where you're entering relative to the consolidation. Entry here was within premium. Entry down here is within discount, right? Note where you are relative to the liquidity / consolidation. This entry in premium above the initial consolidation. The one that works after, very much in discount and below the initial consolidation. The one I'm talking about after is this 1 minute change day delivery down here. And you guys see how it's just such a subtle thing, but it makes the difference between a amazing trade and a mediocre trade, right? So what I'm looking at is 1 minute CISD down here, this works. 1 minute CISD right here, this fails. And a lot of people would be like, why does this fail, right? And a lot of people really got tricked up by this. I'm not saying I probably would get tripped up by it too. But I do think we can learn a lot from this. I think it is very valuable. This is very clearly in discount, right? This entry is very clearly in discount. This one's very clearly in premium. You might not believe that it's making a difference, but I'm telling you, right? The best traders in the world take note of very subtle things, and they're not risking. Like, when they trade, they're trading hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. They're taking note of every subtlety. They're taking note of every little subtlety. If you're not doing that too, You can't, like, there's no reason to ever expect to become one of those people, because they're trading, marking all these subtleties and saying, okay, I'm not taking this one because it's not worth risking $100,000 on, right? People who move the market, they're only going to enter when it is worth risking that money. So, very tricky PA possibility why this CISD failed. And so, as far as this CISD goes, right, this one's in discount, and I bet you there's a 15-minute Q level. We have 15-minute rejection block. Let's see if there was a SMT with it, right? $15-minute. Let's see where the 15-minute rejection block is. It is right here on S&P. Okay, so yep, it's exactly as I thought, guys. It's exactly as I thought. S&P makes lower low. NASDAQ does not make a lower low. Once again, these markets are perfect. They are perfect. And you can try and, like, tell yourself whatever you want, right? But you're ignoring the obvious truth that the market runs based off the people who have the most capital. How they get the most capital? They got to that point by having the best edge. I mean, they're not just going to risk their money on whatever. They're going to risk their money on something that's going to work. This is clear. This is a really good trade. Genuinely. Like, I hope this stuff really gives you guys hope, because every time I backtest, personally, every single time I look at the market and backtest, it literally just gives me so much hope, because it's like, obviously the market moves off smart money concepts. Obviously. And it's like, we just got to keep locking in. And obviously it's hard. It's hard to catch this live. I'm not saying it's not. It's going to be really hard. But hard is different than impossible. And I do think that, especially if we can practice these more on demo, we're going to be able to catch these. Just imagine just 1 minute flow state close right here. 1 minute. Entry. I would literally just enter on the close, and you could target those low resistance highs. Even take profit at the bodies there. It's a 1.7 to 1, right? So I might go ahead and make the market recap. I feel like we've covered a lot. Yeah. I feel like we covered enough. We could probably record the market recap. I mean, obviously, I would love to just keep backtesting, and maybe I could backtest it a little bit more after, but I want to film the market recap and just get that out and done, because I need to work on getting to bed sooner. It's very important. If I don't get to bed soon, if I don't get to bed in whatever amount of time, it's just not good, because then I have a terrible morning, and then I trade bad, and then the rest of my day is bad, and then it's a cycle, so... So I gotta get to bed on time. So, flow state, close, 15 minute, 1 minute. Oh, it's actually a flow state Phoenix. Flow state Phoenix close. That's sick. It takes real patience when it comes to... Exactly. I mean... Obviously, like, we're looking at all these setups, it's like, man, they're happening all the time, but so much easier to look at it. Like, there's a reason why I'm so good at spotting these, because I've been able to spot, but it's a whole different animal to take it live, because you have to have the patience to wait for it, see it in the mute, and not be emotional. It's like a million things. It's not impossible, though. That is one thing that it's not. That's why I'm never gonna give up, because it's obviously it's not impossible, and Every day you wake up, you're like, oh, I wonder if the market stopped working off smart money concepts. Oh no, wait, it didn't. It's still doing it. And it's never gonna stop. Oh, these markets, guys, they're never gonna stop moving off these concepts. It's like, I don't think they will. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, because it's literally just common sense, right? Market moves to make the most amount of people panic as possible, because yeah, it's hard to beat. And so yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end the stream here and film the market recap. Appreciate you, Morris, for hanging out with me, and yeah, join my Discord if you have not. It's just like a community of people I'm trying to build and get a group of people who like trading all together. So anyway, with that.